everyone. This is Crystal Lynn coming to you from Southern California. And we are here to talk about what is going on up in the sky and do some really fun trivia. Everybody loves the trivia, and I think it's such a great way to learn about how interesting and in-depth our signs, our zodiac signs can actually be. We often have the general descriptions, but when you really get into it, you can really find out a lot about each other and how each other operate. That's very important. So let me get YouTube going on up here and see if you guys are joining me. Hello, everyone. See that you guys are coming on in. Let's see. I hope you guys are coming on in. We got a little feedback. All right. Okay, come on in, you guys. Hello, hello. Hey, can anybody out there give me the dates? I was just looking them up, but we were doing a bunch of things. I wanted to get the exact dates because I know that right now we are in a Mercury retrograde in Gemini. And can someone give me those exact dates of when this started and when it ended? I know I should have those as an astrologer, but I do have those, but I just don't have them with me right now. So that would be super cool if anybody wants to do that. I can't hear you on live. Let's see. I think that's on my Facebook. Can you hear me now? You can't hear me. Let's see. We'll talk to our people behind the scenes here. Let me know if you can hear me. Let's see. We'll have someone come in a minute. Hold on. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for coming on in. Hello, hello. Right here, I can't hear you. I don't know. Hold on. Okay.
I don't know.
Is that the volume? Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Let's see. Can you hear us, Jamie? There's my sister. Hello, everyone coming in. I like to let you guys come in for a minute before I get started. We're going to restart. Is that Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah,
that's Facebook. We're going to restart, so hang tight on Facebook only. So, Josh, you can hear me. I think it was just Facebook. Okay, you guys are awesome. So, what is going on up in the sky right now? Right now, Mercury is retrograde in Gemini. Now, Mercury rules Gemini, so this is when we get super powerful energy. How have you guys been doing during this Mercury retrograde? See, I can't even speak, and that is such a symptom or such a way that a retrograde will really affect us. So you have a hard time speaking. This is the time when you're in a Mercury retrograde to be very careful what you say and what you do, because it's very, very easy to, maybe you want to send one person a message and you accidentally send it to somebody else. This is a time when all your paperwork and computer stuff can get really wild. Oh, hold on.
Audio.
Okay, we got audio. Okay, I hope you guys will come on back. So, for me, it's so interesting because yesterday, this is just an example of what I've gone through so far. This is a bad Mercury retrograde. So I go to pay my phone bill, and I go into the Verizon, and they look up my phone number, and it has a different name. Okay, it has a different name. Then they finally find it, and I go to give them my debit card, and my debit card won't work. And so I've got to go over to the bank to withdraw cash. Fortunately, it was just right near the Verizon. So I go to get cash out, and the cash, pay cash won't work. It is, someone's got to come over and fix it. So I got to wait in line for the other one that does work. Go back. It's just like all these kind of things. And then right before I got here, which is why was running a little bit late, I was over at the salon, and I locked my keys in my car. And it's a rental because my other car is down being worked on right now. And I didn't know that the doors actually lock when you leave the keys in there. So I had to call someone and they had to come out. So we just got here a few minutes ago. So, this is the kind of stuff that happens. Have any of you guys already been experiencing this? Mercury retrograde. Now, Gemini is, again, our communication. Mercury is our communication. In Gemini, it rules cars and vehicles and high vibrations and batteries and starters and computers. It's in the air and it's in our communication. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. We're going to be in this for about the next 10 days, and there's a little shadow period afterward. But just really pay attention and really watch yourselves out there driving, because everybody's driving very erratic and it's just very accident prone out there because of this type of energy, okay? And it's, a lot of times we think, in fact, my husband will always say to me, isn't there anything good that's happening up in the sky? And I try to explain to him, number one, I didn't create the universe, so I don't know why it's like this. But understanding these energy shifts and what's going on in the sky and in the universe can help us, work on ourselves and have a little tip to say, you know what, I got to slow down. I got to be careful. I got to back up my computer. I've got to pay attention right now. The last year and a half, we've been in Sagittarius Capricorn energy up in the sky, and we've had arthritis, back problems, hip problems. That's the area that this energy is affecting our bodies. And so what a bummer is that? But it brings these things out in our lives so that maybe we can make positive changes. What are those things? What have we, are we listening? Are we paying attention to what our body needs? And the universe reminds us through a hardship, because we don't learn anything if there isn't any hardship, right? Unfortunately, we're kind of thick that way. Okay, you guys, well, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. I'm just going to say hello. Let's see who I got here. You guys all coming in? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to play a little trivia tonight, and the trivia is going to be, we want to talk about relationships. I love talking about relationships. And so I need your help, because I'm going to be bringing up some suggestions and how I see the signs, but I want to hear from you guys and tell me what your experience is, or if you agree. Or if you want to add to it. So everybody that's on these threads and talking to each other, it's really fun to have conversations. So we want to get that energy going. Don't forget, if you can, like, share, and comment. That really helps us get the message out. Plus, we have a lot of giveaways, so we want to give things away. And when you do those things, it gives us an opportunity to give to you. Okay, so we are warming up. So I thought today we would talk about what the signs do when they're mad, or they're angry, or how they handle conflict. Okay, what are some of the ways? And this might be, you might have mastered this, so you might say, oh, that's not me, but we all have certain innate tendencies, and when you understand astrology, you can really understand how you react and potentially why, and maybe work on it, maybe better yourself, or maybe that's what's what. Everybody's a little bit different. So I was thinking we can go in order for our Aries out there. Do we have our Aries out there? Let's see what our Aries are doing. Let's see. Hey, Jesse. Yay, we're doing trivia. And I'm looking for my husband because I always miss him. And he better be on here. I'm not going to miss you tonight. He always gets the answers right, too, and I keep missing him. So our Aries, okay, so when you're dealing with conflict and you're dealing with maybe somebody's hurt you, maybe you've had a breakup, what is one of the ways, one of the characteristics that often comes out in the Aries when they have this conflict? So I want to see what you guys have to say. I was thinking, when I thought about it, Aries really won't take no for an answer. They will continue to try, continue to make it work. They have hard fights, but they forgive really easy. So often when you're dealing with an Aries, it might be really intense. Now they can get mad and, they can be very destructive. That is for sure. But at the same time, they're very connected. They're very committed. They don't like to leave on a bad note. They like to make peace. They like to have that. And so often by not taking no for an answer, they're trying to find a way to resolve resolve the relationship, make resolve, so to speak. And so they can feel pushy, but I think they really just genuinely care. But sometimes that can come off as, I've said this and you need to listen to me. So what do you guys think? Can you relate to that? Is that something that you would say, my Aries out there? What do you think, Chris? Chris Strickland. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. Who is out there? Let's see what you guys have to say. Any thoughts? Any thoughts on our Aries? Do not tell them to calm down. Thank you. That is so true. What do you guys think, my Aries out there? Don't tell you to calm down. Because Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is like fire. It's the first fire sign. So when an Aries does have that sudden anger or sudden hurt or sudden crisis, it's like a rush of heat goes through their body. It's like a complete volcanic type of feeling. And so they almost, it's like a flame will go up, but then, as long as it don't catch anything on fire, it dies out pretty easy without a lot of pressure to it. But, you have to give them that opportunity to cool back down. You can't be back in their face and I want it now and talk to me now. Because once an Aries feels that flush that goes over their whole body, that fire, they can get over it quick, but that's not the time. That's not the time to go, calm down and all of that. So I would agree with that. Let's see. So anyway, you guys can comment on if you're Aries out there. I'll be looking to see what you say. We're going to kind of continue on. Oh, here we go. Josh says, I forgive easily. So that is true. I think that once the heat goes down, they are very loving, forgiving. A lot of times they see their relationships as longtime friends. So this can also be after maybe a breakup or after a situation. They want to keep a friendship or they want to keep things good. They don't like to end on a bad note. And they do like to have the last word. Okay, so they do like to have the last word. So, if you really want to end an argument with an Aries, just let them have the last word. Don't say eat, ooh, ah, nothing. Just let them have it. And then everything's okay. Go to lunch, right? No problem at all. So I think that's definitely true. So, all right, you guys, keep coming on in. Do we have any Tauruses out there? Where is our Taurus? So when I was getting my hair done today, the lady that does my hair is a Taurus. I have a Sagittarius and a Taurus, so I really love it. We all have these astrology conversations. And I had this thought about the Taurus. I was thinking, what do they do when they get mad or they want to end a relationship or they have a conflict? And I thought, Taurus is that bull. And they just don't take any bullshit, right? They just don't. They don't like bullshit. They don't take it. And once they are done, like you might have to push them really, really far. Like they'll be patient for a really, really long time. But once they hit that spot where they're done, they are done, right? Taurus is out there. They are done. Now, it was funny because I thought, when I was talking to my Taurus, she said, well, when I end a relationship, I block them. I take their pictures off of my Facebook. They are gone out of my life, and I don't look back. And for many of the Tauruses that I know, that's definitely a trait. Like when you look on, the people in your life that give you the block, or never want to even remember things again. It's pretty harsh, but they are an earth sign, and they are practical, and they just don't want to linger in all that emotional upheaval, right? Would you guys say? They do get stuck in that anger if they're not careful. Think about that bull, when they try to agitate the bull, and they try to put the flag, the red flag, and they come running. It takes them a while. But when they come running and charging, like, you better watch out. And you don't ever want to push a Taurus to that point because they really don't want to go there anyway. The Taurus really, what's important to them is to save their energy, preserve their energy, and do things that are quality and of value. They don't like to run around being hysterical and waste all that energy. So I think you're going to see more of an earthy, practical person here, right? Let's see what else we have here. If any of you guys are Taurus. Do we have any Taurus? Let's see. Let me see. Absolutely. Where's our Taurus out there? Let me see. Come on, you guys. You got to help me out because this is fun. I'm having a great time. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Well, you guys can comment, just saying what, how you feel. Okay, there's my husband. Yeah, they pout. Yeah, they definitely pout. Now, is that our Aries or our Taurus? Because they both kind of pout. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, how about our Gemini? What happens when a Gemini gets mad or can't resolve a conflict, right? Because we definitely see this Jekyll and Hyde. And, it's just understanding that there's two sides that they are constantly trying to juggle. There is two different conversations going on inside of them. And so there's this side that's, everything's great. It's the butterfly. It's just, being involved in anything. But when they can't be free and they get tied down or they get in this anger rut, it can really switch on you. Now, Geminis often switch quickly. So there's not a lot of time to prepare. And so, you could be talking to them for 1 minute and come back in the conversation and they're a totally different person. It can feel like that. So how many Geminis do I have out there? I hear they get testy, right? Is that our Gemini? They're like two people. That's true. What about, I have Hunter. You have a Gemini moon. How do you feel when you get upset? Like, does that make sense? Thank you for sharing, Heather. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for coming in. Hi, Annette. You're new here, so thank you for joining us. We're doing this every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. This is just a fun way to learn astrology. If you guys want to go deeper, I do teach astrology. I teach from the beginning all the way to advanced, where you can use astrology in a very powerful way in your life. And we're getting ready to open up classes very soon. We're in the process right now. So just heads up, if you are interested in that, message me on Facebook. CHRYSTAL LYNN Astrology is a good place to catch me on private message. Just say, hey, I'm interested. Keep me updated. I would love that. So our Gemini, the other thing I was thinking about when they get really mad, like what did they do that would try to get somebody back or get mad? Maybe they don't even purposely plan it, although they are calculated. They're going to go talk about you. They're going to go talk to everyone. They're very good at the smear campaign, okay? And that, remember when I talk about the signs, I'm really talking about the planetary energy. The energy that comes down, so we can have a positive, evolved side where we're growing, we're in control of this energy, we've learned to control it. Completely out of control, there's a shadow side. We all have a very, when we get triggered, things come out. So we're human. So when I do these types of things, I hope nobody internally feels like, oh my gosh, that's not true, or they're upset, because we're talking about real stuff. I mean, isn't it refreshing? Let's just talk about real stuff, like what we go through, how we feel. So with a Gemini, if you piss a Gemini off, you might find out that, everybody knows about it. Okay. What else do we have going on in here? What if you are an Aries and you are dating an Aries? Well, what do you think? First of all, a lot of times we can look at the symbol of the Aries to gain some information. And the symbol is the ram. But a young Aries, we would see more as like a billy goat, like a small goat, and they all start out in a big pen together. And the only way that a Aries or a goat can become the top dog, the top ram, is he's got to be in this competition to climb up to the top spot. If you ever watch goats and you put like hay bales in their pen, the one that can get on top and knock everybody else off, and they play. They love to play. So getting them engaged is about that constant kind of headbutting, kind of checking in, kind of keeping it going, the excitement, the adrenaline. But they have to be careful. Two Aries together, if they really get going, can be very hurtful to each other. So just, you have to understand that is fiery energy. So you do want to have some things to calm that down. So, yeah, I am.
You scroll to the bottom.
Okay, let's see. Okay, everybody's joining. So what do you guys think now? We're going to move in. Let's see. Okay, we've got some answers here. Thanks for bearing with me on all of this technical stuff. I'm really trying to get it and get your information. I could never figure out an angry Gemini. They're mad and then they're not, right? So what do you guys think? Okay. My boyfriend and I both have Gemini moon. What's your thoughts on that? Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that. And we had an awesome time together today. What do you think? Gemini. I mean, I think in some ways you would have a lot of excitement. This is the person that, you're reading with, you're reading the newspaper, you're checking out all the sales and the deals, and you like to go do things and all of that. But I think the hardest part would be the cycling that happens with the personality, with the up and down, it's really a duality. So, one person might be on a really good mind and the other person, are you cycling together, switching together? You need to look at that. There's always a positive with being, having a conjunction with somebody, having the same sign, but sometimes it's too triggering because you're actually looking at yourself. So you just have to really know. And plus, when we get into astrology, we're really looking at a whole chart. So in these videos, I'm talking about the sun signs, the basic energy, but I would want to look at two charts together to find out where the balancing is. So I do believe similar signs or the same signs can be together, but you need to look at the whole chart, which I do relationship readings if you want to come to me. Message me at CHRYSTAL LYNN ASTROLOGY. So, okay, you guys, let me see what else is going on. You both have humor. That's good. Let's see. I think when the same sign, it all depends on where the moon is in their sign. That's where their heart is. I agree with you. I agree with you on that, Alicia. So there's a lot of things to put together when you're meeting someone, but understanding the basic energy. Okay, so I'm just checking you guys out here, seeing what people are saying. Oh, thank you, Michelle. We did a one-on-one reading today. I won't share the details, but we had a great time. Okay, we have a question from Annette. How do Scorpios and a Taurus do well in a relationship? Well, anytime you are looking at the opposite side of the zodiac, there's a really, really intense connection there. Because we really believe that, we've heard opposites attract. So Taurus and Scorpio are the opposite signs, and they can bring a lot to each other. So let's talk about a minute what they do bring to each other. Taurus wants stability. It does not like erratic emotions, and Taurus don't really like to go that deep. They believe what they believe, and if it works, it works. Scorpios, on the other hand, can be intensely emotional, and they always want to get into the psychological things, okay? And they want to dig in there. And a Taurus is like, oh my gosh, I don't even think like that. So the good side is that the Scorpio and the Taurus could bring stability and emotion together, making a really rich, good, healthy relationship. But at the same time, you really have to know what the opposite what the opposites are about. I was just watching this YouTube. It's kind of older, but I watched it then, and I kind of caught it this week again. Tatum O'Neal. Do you guys remember Tatum O'Neal? Those of you in the 60s will remember Tatum O'Neal. Her dad is Ryan O'Neal. So movie stars. She played in the Bad News Bears as a girl and Paper Moon. And she grew up with her dad. Of course, it was a very dysfunctional situation. And they did this show together a few years ago where they're trying to reconcile. And she's gone to all this therapy, and Ryan O'Neal just wants to get on with it and move forward. Well, she's a Scorpio, and Ryan O'Neal was a Taurus. So if you guys want to check this video out later and really see the dynamics, it's very interesting because you see them talking, and Tatum O'Neal is just trying to get her dad to understand the pain and what he did and admit it and go to therapy, and this is what you need, and very, very intense. And very, very, won't let him off the hook for any reason. Nope, you're not getting off the hook. And here Ryan O'Neal is this Taurus, and he's dealing with anger issues. He's blowing up everywhere. Okay, and so he's the dad, and she's the daughter, and he can't figure her out. He's like, I have to walk on, it's very delicate to be around her. And she's like, he just doesn't get it, So that's a fun show if you guys want to check that out. That was really good to watch. So, okay, here we are. Let's take a look. See how we're doing. Scorpion wins. That's probably true. Scorpio is going to be... See, Scorpio has the ability to be extremely psychologically powerful. They read the psyche. So when they do that, they can really manipulate that in anger or in vengeance or in control. They can get you where the heart is. You kind of feel like you're stabbed. They know how to say one word and go right to the guts, right to the heart. Ooh, right? The stinger. And they may not even think that much of it, okay? Because that's just the truth. But you have to understand in that relationship, you have to understand each other. And you have to understand where each other's coming from. So that is very true. Okay, let's get on to our Cancer. Do we have any Cancers out there? I got some spot-ons. Let's see. Anything else here? Where's our Cancers out there? Where is our Cancers? Let me check my YouTube a minute. I just want to hear you guys a second. I always feel like I want to rush, but I don't really want to rush. I want to connect with you guys. So let's work together here. This is fun, and this is a time for you guys to ask questions and participate and meet each other and all that stuff. So our Cancer is ruled by the moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Cancer is the first water sign of the zodiac. So here we have someone that is very in tuned to the emotional vibrations around them. They can walk in a room and feel the room. They can feel the energy. Like you walk in somewhere and you're like, ooh, what's going on in here? It's intense. Or you walk in, everybody's really positive. Like they just become the energy. They literally become it. And so they're very, very, very sensitive, which is often why they like to have their sanctuary. They like to have their little hiding spot to go back to feel safe, just like the crab does. The crab comes out in the sun, he hangs out with all the other crabs, but, as soon as he's done enough of that, zoop, he goes back and he likes that little spot. So I think in relationships, you have to understand that a Cancer also rules what it feels like to be a mother, because it's like, they say, the moon is feminine. We see this mothering energy. And, if you ever watch like Dr. Phil or something, they always have the in-law, the mother that won't leave the couple alone. And they call her the smother instead of the mother. I just watch all kinds of things. She's the mother-in-law that wants to control the relationship even after they're married. And they say, you're smothering me. So on the negative side of a Cancer, in relationships, they get very connected. They're very in tuned. And, they can be clingy. They can hang on for a long time. They can stay in this emotional pain and not get past it. They can be very confusing, but they can be very moody, and they can also hold a grudge, and they can hang on to that. But deep inside, they're really, really feeling things, but it can be overwhelming to express it. So anybody out there, yes, my grandson's a Cancer, and we definitely see he's got a sun, moon, and Mercury in Cancer, and he's got these big eyes, and and yet, but when he gets mad, he's like, wow, he holds on. He got that little control to him, but we often think of the Cancer as this warm going into their home, because their home is this place of safety. Music, candles, good food, family. They're very protective. Think of the crab, how they pinch and hang on. Okay, that is another symbol. So, going into a relationship with a Cancer, I mean, if you want that family, that devotion, it's kind of like the Italian mama, or, any type of thing where you have this loyalty, connection, protection, that's going to be with a Cancer. They're very loyal. But when things separate, they can go into long depressions, and they hold on to emotional memory. Often, when they do break up or they do have a problem, they'll keep coming back and clinging and trying to get your emotional response. They want you to show them some emotion, good or bad. So it's hard on a Cancer if they're completely cut off. They really struggle there. Yes, extremely loyal, Michelle. Hello, Bob, Mac. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. My twin flame has a moon in Cancer, and her emotions can get scary when she's upset. Ooh, tell us more about that. I think it is. It's a huge, intense range of emotions. Think about the moon. The moon has the power to completely change the current. In the ocean, right? Its moon controls all the mood. So another thing about a Cancer is they are very powerful in knowing how to control the mood and the emotional responses in a room. All of a sudden, if they're moody, everybody's moody. If they're happy, everybody's happy. You don't even know what happened, but they're very powerful in changing and shifting the room. So, there's my Coke. Thank you. So let's see what else we got here. Do we have any Cancers out there? Do any of you guys identify? Have you ever been in a relationship with a Cancer? Let's see what you guys have to say here. Violet says she's an 8th house Taurus, and she's always digging into psychology. And because, remember, and I'm kind of going back and forth here with some questions. Remember that, Taurus loves to study. And the 8th house is all about psychology. So it makes sense that that's your passion. That's a deep passion for you. Okay. Let's see. I thought I just saw someone. I'm a Cancer. Carla, how do you feel when you're in a relationship? Do you get mad? Do you hang on? Remember, you guys, if you don't mind, if you can like and share and comment, it gets the message out, gets all of us having more fun, and it keeps the show going. So it's really up to you guys. If you like the show and you want it to be on, then your participation and sharing it and all that good stuff is what keeps it all going. Okay, so let me take a look here. Let's see. I think that, they can get very emotional, hard to control their emotions at times. And so I think it's important, when you're getting in relationships with people, again, that's what this is about. If you want that person that's going to protect you and take care of the kids and take care of the family and create a world and, and create a home and, you want that. Doesn't everybody want that? There's a part of us that all want that. So just know when you have it, you have to take care of it. You have to protect it. You have to understand it. And when you understand it, then yes, sometimes we have to help be something else for someone else. Let them be who they are and not keep trying to change them. coming from a Virgo. We'll get to Virgo soon. So if that makes sense to you guys, I hope that that's helpful. If you guys want to share any more, let's see. Some of this says see more here. We're going here. Hang with me. Just want to check you guys out. I want to see if my husband commented. I don't want to miss it. Hi, honey. Okay. This is our Leo, right? Ooh, what does our Leo do when they get mad? What does our Leo do? How many of you guys have been in a relationship with a Leo? Right? A Leo. What would your thoughts be on a Leo? What has been your experience? I was thinking a little bit about the Leo. You know, the Leo really wants to be highly regarded and has this presence about them that they're like, it's very royal, the king, the queen. And so they don't really want to go down to messy emotions, or if they've been wounded or hurt or humiliated, they don't want to give that the time of day. They won't even admit that happened. They won't let you know how they feel about it. They don't want you to know. And often we see with Leos, they're the ones that get into another relationship pretty quick, and the next thing you know, they're all over Facebook because they're going to brag about it. They're going to let you know what a good time they're having without you. They are not shy. They're not going to go and cry. They're going to be finding out how they can create, you know, a presentation that shows everybody that their life is better now. So they're never going to allow like that humiliation or humble themselves down, you know. That's what I've seen. Violet, you say you have a sister that's in a Leo. So you said, oh my God, yes. Yes. Let's see what else we have going on here. Let's see if we have any Leos. Where's our Leos? Will you guys admit that that's true? Now, Chris, you're a Leo out there. Please don't piss me off. We do not have time. That's right. Do you want to give anybody the time of day after they've hurt you? Don't you want to just go create a new life and show everybody you're better than that? They do vary so much. Don't embarrass them or you're going to get it, whatever you do. See, it's a real thing about respect that they have. And if they're embarrassed or anything, ain't going to happen. Okay. Any more thoughts on that? Let me see. I'm trying to read. Some of these things I'm reading because I'm going to different signs and I don't know if they're from different signs, but you guys are awesome. Let's see what we got going on. I have to scroll so I can read you guys. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, and YouTube. So this is so fun. Oh, I have more comments down here. Leos out there, what do you guys think? My Leos aren't talking to me right now. They should be. Let's see. You guys are saying all kinds of great things. Okay, more trivia. So let's keep going. And if you guys want to comment of anything I've said, please comment. We read all these comments later too. Okay, how about our Virgo? What does our Virgo do when they are pissed off? Let me tell you. What do you guys think? Do we have any Virgos out there? Well, you know, I was thinking about this a lot and thinking about myself. One thing I feel is a Virgo, there is a certain part of us that needs emotional control. We do not like to emotionally lay it all out there. Even if we're emotional, like myself, I'm a Virgo with the moon in Pisces. I'm extremely emotional. But anytime that comes out, the Virgo side of me is just horrified, mortified that I was vulnerable. But then I'm always vulnerable. So I'm in this constant opposition, right? So Virgos, what do you think? I really feel like Virgos are the number ones to give a cold shoulder. You're done. They just give you the cold shoulder. They get quiet when they're mad. They're not going to show emotions. They get almost unnervingly quiet because they know their minds are spinning, right? And they get quiet. What else do we have here? Let's see. Virgo is going to analyze everything wrong that you're doing and make you feel like shit. Yes, they will. They're pretty much going to be right. Because Virgos, when they're fighting, they have a weird way of, again, similar to like Scorpios, like the knife, but they have like this weird way of manipulating and twisting words and reminding you of things you did and what you didn't do and, you know, what they did for you. You didn't appreciate them. So I think when we see the Virgo, because Virgo will literally, in a relationship, if let's say you don't have an arm, they will cut their arm off and give it to you. They want you to be so whole and so good and so complete. And they have this, it looks like sometimes it's very humble, this servitude to help others. But there's, there's a big adrenaline rush in being able to say, I helped put Humpty Dumpty back together again, you know? They thrive on making other people better. Meanwhile, they're a complete mess. I can go clean somebody else's house all day long, but just to get in my own chaos, I can't. You know, it's like a struggle. So that's one of the things that I see. What are you guys thinking on Virgos? Hello, hello. Hi, Jamie. I got all my best people on here. They're fixers. But they're loving. They get embarrassed though. So if they, you know, get left to the curb, you're probably not going to have a Virgo really running after you, attacking you. They kind of want to have a little more dignity than that. But they're deeply hurt because they've given you everything. So that's all they can think about is all that they did. And it didn't work out. So yeah, it's, you know, we're all a little bit cray-cray, aren't we? Okay, love you, Jamie. All righty, you guys. So any other thoughts on my Virgos out there? Where are my Virgos? Where are my Virgos? Let's see. Keep the energy going. Okay. Yes, so, all right, you guys. All right, let's talk about our Libras. Do we have any Libras out there? Where are our Libras? Help me to help you. Excuse me. I hear one comment here. It says, my husband is a Leo rising and we disagree in private. And I thought that was interesting because, again, even though Leos can be bold and you don't want to get them roaring, again, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed out in the public. So, okay, you guys, let's move on to our Libras. Do we have any Libras out there? I've got one comment from Chris. Libras don't fight. They hit the ignore button. Yeah. That's what I was going to say, because I think that often Libras don't like to be in conflict. They don't like to have a big, messy argument. They are just too balanced and too good for that. So trying to get a Libra into one of these situations, and you're calling them, and you want emotional response, and you're texting them, and you're all that, all of a sudden they'll go quiet. They will disappear, right? They will ignore. And it's not only because they just want to ignore, it's because it takes them too long to make a decision on how they want to respond to that. They don't like what the conflict they're in, and the answer they would have is not fitting into this other thing. And so they'll just shut down. They'll just kind of go flatline. And it's not that they're not thinking about it. It's not that they don't care, but their words are so powerful, and their ability, they think about everything they're going to say, and they want to make the right decision. They don't want to say the wrong thing and have a huge episode from it. So they'll just say nothing at all. So it can feel like you're not getting emotional connection from them. But you have to understand that if you want to have a conversation with a Libra, it needs to be a very well thought out debate. So you're presenting information to them. You're presenting the facts. And then you present it to them. And then there's a pause. And then you wait. And then they present. And you don't overtalk each other. You don't get all crazy and overtalk. Virgos and Geminis are good at over-talking people, so you have to stay very calm. And then pretty soon you're having this really cool, engaging relationship. But they're going to give you all the reasons why it won't work, and then maybe you can persuade them to agree with taking a chance. But you got to have all your facts down, okay? So Libras don't want to get caught up in all that craziness from what I can say about it. Let's see what else. Sometimes we are conceived as fence sitters. Yes, that's that sitting on the fence, not wanting to go, the pros or the cons aren't adding up, and you don't want to don't want to make a wrong decision that often you don't make any decisions at all. So, a lot of times people that are very emotional jump off the cliff and try things and do things and, oh, well, if it doesn't work out, But there's such a regalness to the Libra, and everything is so factual that they just can't take that chance. They have to know as close as they can to a shadow of a doubt that it's going to work out. Sometimes they miss out on a lot of stuff, though, because they're not willing to take that chance. You got to take chances in life. Everything can't be so controlled, but that's how they navigate. Okay? So, they are, let's see, we're talking about Libras. They have a good response to angry people. Yes. The Libra is going to balance you out. My husband has a moon in Libra and Libra rising. Hi, honey. And I love it. I have Mercury and Venus in Libra. So we have a really interesting connection in our communication. Not to say it doesn't have, can be emotional and Virgo-y over here, but when I just get right in there and we start talking, we just have great conversations, and we talk about all kinds of things, and we love to talk and look at it from different perspectives, and and a lot of times it's like, it's kind of like, it's not making a decision right then, but think about it and let me know what you think. If you give them that room, they'll think about it, and they will put a lot of thought into it. So you got to trust them. So I really like the conversations. It's calming. It can be. Just don't get a Libra on one side or the other, too extreme, because that's the thing. Everybody wants them to make a decision, but once they do make a decision, you can't get them to budge. You can't get them to turn around. So don't push too hard. You may not like what you think you want. Okay, how are you guys doing out there? Don't forget, you guys, like and share and comment. Let's see, I'm just looking through. Here. You guys are making great comments. My daughter is a Libra. Carla. Any other Libras? What do you guys think? Let's see. Let me take a look here. Carla. Oh, good. Carla, you won a 15-minute reading. Now, we are offering 15-minute readings as a gift, and these are done on Facebook. They are done live. I only specifically talk to you and read your chart, answer your specific question. We do it live, though, so other people can learn. So it's not, a private reading if you want to deal with deeper personal things. But for a basic 15-minute reading, career and basics, whatever you are comfortable, I can go right there with you. So, the more that you go over and like my Crystal Lynn page and come and visit me, the more opportunities we're going to give these things away. Okay, and this is $100 value for your 15-minute reading. So it's really a good value. So, okay. What else we got going? How we doing over there, Ethan? Ethan's my manager, my son. How are we doing? Are we doing good? Are we doing good trivia? Am I getting a thumbs up? I need a thumb. I hope you guys are listening over there. All right. Are we doing good?
We're doing great.
Are we doing great?
45 minutes, so we got 15 minutes left.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to give away some transit reports.
Ooh, transit reports, a $25 value.
One more live reading.
Okay.
To a lucky winner.
Okay.
So share and...
Okay, we got one more live reading that we're going to give out, and some transit reports in my software. I have natal chart, children report, and transits. So we're going to be giving away some transit reports, and they're really good. They're really
The only last
extensive.
thing is don't forget to like the page so that next week and other times we go live that you get notified.
Okay.
You can even hit the see first thing. We don't post like too much on there, so you get to see all our cool stuff that comes out first and helps everything we're doing.
Okay. Yeah. So, what he just said, I just had a Pisces moon zone out. But yeah, so all of that is good. Let's see. I'm just reading. Let's see. Oh, there's my son. Hi, Colt. He says, Mom, am I late? Aw, no, you're not late. He's 8 years old. He's so cute. You're not late. We're just going to town over here. Yes, the live reading will apply to YouTube. So we do need to get one of our live readings for YouTube, Ethan, because they need one there too. Okay, you guys, you're doing awesome. If I've missed anything, bear with me because it is kind of, I'm scrolling about. But I like this way because we need to connect. It's fun. So let's keep going. Let's see if we can get through the signs. We'll keep a little better pace. So Scorpio. All right. What do we need to say? Does everybody know what happens when you piss a Scorpio off? Yeah, right. Well, Scorpios don't forget, and they can wait a really, really long time. They can wait a long time. They don't often just go crazy or outward emotional or vulnerable. They don't want to show all that. They're very stoic, right? Can be very stoic. It's really like a very deep water, not, like the moon's kind of like this kind of water, and Pisces is all ocean and waves. And Scorpio is a very still water, like looking down in a well, and it's very still, and it can be very cold. So first they usually do a real, cold shoulder to kind of just a cold as ice. Okay, they're cold as ice. But they're far from done. They want to find out everything that's going on, every single detail. They want to know everything. They're prone to stalking. They're prone to checking things out. I mean, everybody on social media. I mean, we just all have access, and we're all triggered in so many ways, just so much stuff that it's really hard to even, it used to be you have to drive by somebody's house to see what they're doing if the light's on. You couldn't really, who's over there, that's my old school day. Now, just Facebook, you can put in names, you can look at everything, and Scorpios like to know every detail. It's kind of a really, they don't like to feel like they're not in the know. So it depends on what is going on. Wouldn't you guys agree? Let's see if I have any my Scorpios out there. Everyone wants to be a Scorpio. Yes, Scorpio is so mysterious and intriguing, and the power behind it. It's kind of like, everybody wants to know. It's like they want to know everything about you, but then they're so guarded that it's like this constant, like, can we get in there? And it's like, no, you can't. No, you're not. But when you are in a loving, loyal relationship and commitment, I mean, the in-depth of that relationship can be like no other. But often Scorpios, depending on how evolved they are, they can begin to control things to the point where even they don't realize they're controlling it, that it can really take the life out of other people because they have to be in this constant control of planning everything. So there are different signs that, have that power to be more controlling. And if you don't mind somebody having all the control of your life and you trust them, for some people, they love that. They don't have to think. They just trust. And Scorpio kind of likes that too. So that's pretty good. All right. Anything else? Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I want to hear from my Scorpios. Let's see, you guys. Okay, here's one. Scorpio moon can be too much because they read intentions of others and others' intentions aren't always the best, which, of course, sets us off. I mean, it's so true. They pick up on, they often, even protecting themselves, will see the worst in a situation. But I think one thing we have to really remember, we talk about these things, Scorpio could read intentions, Pisces believes the best, and all these things. But don't we need all of that? And don't we all need to do that? Don't we all have a side of us that we all don't have perfect intentions all the time? I don't know that we ever can fully have this perfect intention. We all are living life, and we're surviving, and we're trying to make the best out of it. And, we're trying to go through all these emotions and make right decisions. So sometimes, I've had Scorpios in my life that point out every single intention and thing they think I have, and they might even be right, but then it's kind of like, hey, don't I get a chance to work this stuff out and kind of be human for a while, or, let me go through it, or, I'm not as hard on myself as you're being on me. So I think there's a real freedom when we understand our humanity. And I think sometimes when somebody has the kind of energy that they want to try to really penetrate you and know everything about you, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming to have somebody want so much of your inner being and be constantly trying to get it at any cost. Some people, it's unnerving. At the same time, when you have a Scorpio friend and you want the truth, then you know what? And you have a good trust issue, trust there that their intentions are good. They can see everybody else's, but often hide their own. So this is the type of relationship stuff we have. So knowing that, again, going into those relationships. Amanda wants to know how much a personal reading is. I have several different options. Go to CHRYSTALLYNNASTROLOGY.com. I have a 15-minute and I have a 1 hour. And my 1 hour is extremely extensive. I can go through family dynamics. I can go through relationship stuff, career. We can get really deep. We get a lot done in an hour. And you can also record the video. So it just is up to, what you want to invest in your life. I can say, and those of you, maybe you guys could say that have had readings with me, I always walk away feeling like they're life-changing for people. And they're life-changing for me. So, all of that is true. All right, so let's move to our Sagittarius. I need some help here. So, at the salon, Karina, who was doing my hair, is a Sagittarius. And I was trying to ask her, what do you do? Well, she also has Mercury in Scorpio. So, that's the thing about how many different types of combinations we have. So, in one end, she was saying, yeah, I'm really intense and I get really hurt. But on the other end, I can kind of shake it off and I'll go get in a new group. I'll go do something else. I see a lot of Sagittariuses who, they just disappear. They take off. They've got a new tribe. All of a sudden, it is kind of a disappearance because Jupiter is kind of got this ability to kind of be there and then not be there. It's this kind of elusive type thing. I do know, often if you're arguing with a Sagittarius, they're pretty much going to be right. And they have this amazing sarcastic ability that'll just put you in your place. Okay, they have this great sarcasm. And if you can't handle that, you better, because they got that fire, and that's how they play. That's how they talk. It is going to be hard to get a Sagittarius to admit that they're wrong. They'll usually, even if they are wrong, they have ability to, kind of make it your fault. They just have a hard time being wrong. So some people call it the know-it-all. But on the positive side, okay, because again, this is stuff we deal with on different levels. On the positive side, though, Sagittarius is going to be really connected to learning things together and to adventuring together and having amazing experiences together. Sagittarius is one sign that you do not want to try to put in a box. They don't like to be controlled. So if you're in a relationship with a Sagittarius, it has to be a real free, loving relationship. They have no problem taking off for the weekend with their friends, their guy friends going hunting, their girlfriends going to Palm Springs or having a weekend trip, Las Vegas. They like to have their friends and their ability to go have a good time. and not always be in a real intense, quiet, connected relationship. So Sagittarius, you have to understand their freedom. And so, and just getting to know them. The more freedom you give them, the more they want to come back. Okay, so just a little thought there. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Adriana, I find them to be very protective friends. I'm not sure which sign that you are talking about. Might have been a little past. Sag is the preacher. Sag is the preacher, definitely. And that's kind of, in a relationship, sometimes they can lecture. Preaching is preaching. Preaching is bringing everybody into a divine message, a divine idea. But the shadow side of preaching could turn into a little more lecturing, right? A little more lecturing. So these are things we all have to work on. So if you are a Sag, it's just something that, hey, these are issues, these are things, how you're made, but in relationships, you might have to let someone be right a little bit. You might have to listen a little bit. All those things like we all have to do. So just giving tips and stuff for you guys. Sign is in a moon or sun, still new here. Heidi, she's asking questions of how you know your moon sign, your sun sign. Listen, for those of you who have never looked up your chart, there's a couple of great places out there. I'm just going to do for the basics of first-timers. It's called Cafe Astrology. Maybe we could put the link below, natal chart. Put your information in, and we'll pop that up, and you'll have your whole chart. And it'll tell you where the moon was, the sun was. If you put your time in, it'll tell you your rising. And then that'll help you more when you come to this show to understand yourself a little better. If you need help with that, message me, and I will get you a chart, okay? So there we go. How are we doing? We getting about close?
Yeah, we're a little over now.
We're a little over an hour. Okay. Do you guys want me to finish another 10 minutes? Do Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces?
Yeah.
Love you, Colt. Love you, baby. He's still commenting to me. That's okay. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, I think we lost this one. Is this Instagram?
Stops after
Okay. Oh, okay. Bye, Instagram. Okay, let me go real quickly. We'll just do a few ideas. Capricorn does not like to show emotions, so you're not going to get a big emotional response out of them. They can hold a grudge, be angry, be pissed off. It's not in the box, not in the rules, not the way it was supposed to go. Can be legalistic in that way. If you're going through a real separation, you share money, they're going to get control of the money quickly. The power, the things, the structure, they're right on it. Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is one of the signs that loves unity. Everybody's the same. They really love for everyone just to be happy. And they're not as intently clingy or try to manipulate or hold on. If you're not happy and you want to go do this, great, I'll come with you guys, or we'll have a good time. They don't want to do that, but they can be very defensive. Aquarius is very defensive. So a lot of times if you're communicating with an Aquarius, it's hard for them also to hear you because they're too busy kind of defending their purpose and what they have to say. So it's something to work with, something to work on. Being able to listen to others and go, oh, wow, I never really saw that I was doing that. I never really realized that. But it is hard for them to do that. So these are things to work on. And our last is Pisces. Pisces is very, very intriguing and elusive and hard to capture, right? So for Pisces, we see the ability to disappear. Neptune is always disappearing up in the sky and then coming back around. And, it's the fish. So all of a sudden they're there and all of a sudden they kind of slither out. And I shouldn't say slither, that's more snaky. I'd say fishy out. You can, when you talk about certain relationships, you can be ghosted by a Pisces. Ghosted meaning, again, they disappear. Once they're done, they're done. And they don't want conflict either, and they don't want a big emotional thing if they're done. If they get their feelings hurt or you shut them down emotionally, they're out of there. They don't want confrontation. They get shut down very easy. So a lot of times you might think, oh, you're so sensitive. Why are you having this emotional? Like I have a moon in Pisces, and so I can be hit by an emotional trigger if somebody says something, And literally the next thing I know, I'm like zeroed out. Like all of a sudden I'm disappeared, my whole being. And it's like, I don't mean to do it and I don't want to do it, but I'm so affected by emotions that if I get triggered or I can't respond or I get hurt, my body goes into defense mechanism. Okay, it just turns into defense. And so it takes me a while to kind of keep talking about it and keep working it out and not letting myself shut down. So that would be one thing. I don't know if you guys would agree with, and vanish. So Lily, yes, when I'm done, and I vanish. You know, we just don't want, we're just not, we're too sensitive to be in a big episode and have all kinds of people, public opinion and all of that good stuff. Pisces just wants to go, you know, we kind of go lick our wounds a little bit, or we just go into a hiding place to re-nurture ourselves. But, you know, you never know what they're doing. So, you know, that's always exciting. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you guys had fun. I really had a good time. Thank you all for joining and having fun. I'm so glad. Great time. Lots of fun. Thanks, Michelle. You guys are awesome. If you have any more questions, again, go private message me. You want to know more about a reading, I do custom design them for you. And we're ready to go. Ready to say goodbye. So got my crew in here. Got my manager, my Aries manager. Here he comes. He doesn't take no for an answer. And here he gets. Look at that.
I'm the one that gives all the free readings away.
Yeah, he's giving everything away.
I sit there and I like see who's like commenting and sharing and liking and.
Very good. Did you give one to YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rory won YouTube.
Okay, good. Rory won YouTube. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I need your information,
Rory's
so
awesome.
go to my private message.
Rory is from Venezuela, yeah?
Oh, Venezuela. Awesome.
His date and everything.
Yeah.
Very good. Hey, JS. I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad this was fun. You guys are great. I'm just seeing everybody now. And I did not see my husband again. So if you kept commenting, honey, you're not, look, he's not in the scroll. He's very elusive.
It's a Pisces for
It's
you.
a Pisces thing. Yeah, he like disappears in the scroll. So I love you, baby. All right, you guys.
Don't forget to like the page
goodbye.
and hit see first because you don't want to miss when she goes live on her free readings and
Oh,
her
that's
fun
what
stuff.
you said. Yeah. Hit the
Her fun
notifications too. Just because this is fun. And we got so much coming
Yeah.
your way. You have no idea. This is just the beginning of getting us all connected in a tribe. All right. We got to go. Love you guys. Have a good night. Talk to you next week.